Now then, welcome back to another episode on the Utopia³ server. This episode, the three of us got together. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
And we've decided to do a bit of playing around with the advanced genetics and mutant creatures mods before they get taken out of the Utopia mod pack. So we're here over in the Void Age, where Sunshine Labs is going to play host to a little mini game. Akko going down there. Got a little present for you first, Akko, so you don't have to get too much fuel use. Have you seen how to inject those?
I have not. What do I do? Find the vein.
Find the vein. Right-click
until
until it's all fully stretched. Take your pants off, bend over, and inject.
I was going to go into the groin. What?
And then when you release, you should have no blood left in the syringe.
A little
So press until there's no blood left.
Hold right-click for a few seconds. You'll see it like a bow shot, and then when you let go, it'll go in.
I'm mainlining it into my eyeball.
And then let
You
go.
have to let go now. Right.
Cool. I'm tripping a bit.
And now you've got it. Then you do the same again to draw the blood back into the syringe and toss the syringe back to me. And then we can use it for somebody else. Kind of recycling blood.
Yeah.
I'm potentially not clean, just so you know.
That's alright, that's alright. It gets centrifuged, so it gets cleaned up again, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I just want to say this is a very nice place you built here, guys. It's very Umbrella Corporation-y.
It's very clean and straight to the point. It's a scientific lab.
I'm expecting the corridors to shut me off and lasers to start cutting me off at any point.
If you go down the wrong route, maybe. We never installed the defences.
Can I fly?
Yep.
You should be able to fly.
What? Double click.
Should be double click.
Flight creative mode.
It's a little tricky. It's better when you have more room here.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm flying.
You got it.
Yeah.
Flying
with
with
no armor.
unassisted. And F is fireballs. B is explosive, destructive fireballs. H to teleport, which is basically like chucking an ender pearl. So you can ender pearl around. You might ender pearl to something, though. Rather than to nothing.
I thought it was going to teleport me to the void then.
You can breathe underwater, you can swim in lava, you can do all the super Herobrine things that we invented in our genetic serum.
I feel like Jeff Capes in the 80s.
Yeah. Just be a little wary. You're going to run super fast. Don't run into the walls. You'll get stuck in them.
So I get to see a nice aerial view of your base as well now, your little place. This place is very cool. I'm totally pinching the design of this, by the way, at some point.
Yeah, that's cool. It's chisel blocks that made it happen.
And
Awesome.
imagination.
Well, a little bit, yeah. So what we're doing here today is we're going to get started on this. We're never going to finish it this episode. So the chances are you'll see another couple of episodes from us over the course of the next few days, showing our progress and hopefully showing us finish it. We're going to build a little mini arena.
Ooh.
And we've all got our little jobs involved in building this arena. Funshine is currently setting out a nice big hexagon-shaped platform for us to have as the arena proper. We're going to spawn monsters into the arena. That's going to be Akko's thing, because he's the MFR mob spawner guy. He's going to get lots of mobs in eggs and throw them around the arena at people to fight. It'll be like waves and waves of mobs. I'm going to sort out a little player equipment section over this side, I think, which will be the advanced genetics mod so that people can inject themselves with some super... Oh, bye, man.
That was close.
Straight down to the void. So that the players, before they enter the arena, can leave all their stuff in a locker and then inject themselves with a formula that's specially designed just for the arena fight. We're going to have some ComputerCraft involved, so Funshine's computer skills are going to come out again, and we're going to have just a lot of waves of really angry mutant creatures and other mobs spawning into the arena.
So is it going to be mutant mobs? Oh, what's happened there? Is it going to be the mutant mobs that were spawning, or normal game mobs?
Normal game mobs, but then we can throw potions that make them into the mutant creatures.
Ooh.
Rather than spawning mutant creatures in, I think we throw in normal creatures, and then maybe, this is an idea I've just had, right? So bear with me, get it on camera. We throw normal mobs into this arena, and then at random times during the game, during the fight, we rain those potions that mutate those creatures into mutant creatures. So the players will have to destroy a wave quickly, otherwise some of the wave may turn into mutants halfway through before the next wave starts.
Does this all want to be factory blocks, Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to use Thunderdome later. I don't know what I'm going to make it out of.
Oh.
That was it. Is that a key binding problem?
Yeah. Can't change the wand focus. Lighting my arena on fire already, are you?
Yeah. How do I get my... Oops. There we go.
I should get myself one of those building ones out, really, shouldn't I?
There's like 30 of them in your inventory.
Yeah. I just don't use them for some reason. I don't know.
So I got told off after doing a video with Sento that I wasn't forceful enough. So, Ron, do the floor. Nemsun, do the floor.
Forceful? Who complained about you not being forceful enough?
Rorax.
Were you supposed to be keeping Sento and Nicholas in line?
Sento took over. I just said I was in charge off camera, so it's all right. We need a lot of these blocks, aren't we? So we're making a Thunderdome.
A hexagonal Thunderdome, yeah.
Sweet.
We'll do some cool chisel glass and stuff like that if you can figure out what glass to use.
I've always wanted a Thunderdome in my garden.
Like proper Mad Max Thunderdome in your garden.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the street who I could grab and chuck them in the Thunderdome and make them fight their way out.
Tell them, you got it.
I'll make about 1,000 of these then.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I bought 256 and it didn't touch the sides. So.
Yeah.
I actually like the cool little effect it's making.
There we go. Follow them and then back we go.
My hexagon's not quite a hexagon. That was pretty pathetic.
So, for the viewers, this is to celebrate the change of the bundles, if that's correct, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's something to do with it. This is just for having a fight as well, really. Just something to play with. But the adventure bundles are going to start coming in, just as this advanced genetics mod and the mutant creatures mod is leaving the pack. So it's also a good place where we can celebrate these two mods, the mutant creatures and advanced genetics, and all their time that they've had in the pack so far, with combining all of the knowledge we've found out about them into one cool little mini game, which is why we're doing it in this void age, so that we can just save it somewhere when we're done, rather than it being deleted forever and the blocks.
So we may get these mods back in the future.
Yeah, we may do. It's been done. We've done it, but there's no saying that somebody like yourself, Akko, who hasn't actually touched on it much, might want to do it with something in the future.
Yeah, I've not touched advanced genetics at all, and I'd like to. Yeah, I haven't found time to get round to it.
You've got it in your monster pack, though, haven't you?
Yes.
So you'll be able to do it on your Feed the Beast monster.
I shall be. Yes, I think I'm going to do it in there as my mode of flight. I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to go crazy and have all this explosive stuff and that.
Yeah, we tried to completely explore it, didn't we? Just so that we could at least write it off as, yeah, that's completed that mod.
Yep.
I've run out of blocks again already. Wow.
Right then, so I think, because there's not a lot for me to do just yet, I'm going to cut here on my bit of the recording, and I'll come back when I've got something to do.
Good plan.
Back in a bit.
All right, guys, what's up? We're back here, and we've got the Thunderdome being built here. So as far as Nemsun and Akko and we've all been kind of given different tasks. Akko is, I don't want to turn the corner and spoil it yet. Akko is doing a lot of the mob spawning. He's doing the MFR stuff and on some of the aesthetic design, and he did the big sign on top, which I'll show you. It looks really cool. Nemsun is doing a lot of the overall design of the levels and what's going to happen and that kind of thing to the player, and also the charge of doing all the advanced genetics, so giving the different serums that we're going to give the players to beat the rounds. I'm doing a lot of the ComputerCraft stuff and a lot of the automation, and you'll see that in a minute. So without further ado, here is the Thunderdome. You can't see much. We'll get inside it and see it. Actually, let's go outside real quick. Oh, dead end. Where can we get out? We can get out over here. It's cooler to see from outside. So let's do this. All right, here is the Thunderdome. Dun, 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 dun. Check that out. Sweet. So it's a big cube. We built a big sphere that we built with the open blocks builder block that kind of makes the highlight of the world. And yeah, there's some cool stuff going on here. This is all a lot of carpenter blocks, and these are like those advanced extra trees panels that are really cool, the Akko built. But this is the Thunderdome. Okay, so now we can go inside it, and I'll show you the stuff that I did. All of the ground here is just work in progress. We're kind of designing the levels, so this will all change. You won't be able to tell the difference between these zones, these little special blocks, and the actual floor, because it'll be all like a checker pattern or some kind of random arrangement of blocks. So that's just for level design right now. But you'll come in here, and this door will be likely closed, and you'll come to the computer monitor. And I haven't put in all the menus yet, so this is still a lot of just ugly stuff, but I'll make it prettier. But we type Thunderdome here. And as soon as we type Thunderdome, it's going to say enter, and it's giving us about, I think, 5 or 10 seconds. And it's going to close. This will be closed too. I've just taken it out now so I can get out if I need to. But while you're out here, there's always an emergency stop. If all the players inside die, you'll respawn over there, and you can just just right-click on here, and it'll stop the round. And then you could just go here and type Thunderdome again. So right now for testing, each round lasts a whopping 5 seconds. So you can see as soon as this door closes, round 1 will begin. Those doors will close. These I'm not sure what we're going to put here, but they're just fence posts for now, so I can make sure they're all working. But basically we're going to have like some walls or some spikes or something come up so to make it a little bit more difficult. And as you can see, these different pods we have, so there's 3 different spawn bays for mobs, either in this location or that one. And they're going to be randomly distributed in each of the doors. And in some of the rounds, some of the doors will be closed, like this round. So any zombies or skeletons or anything else that spawns in this round will kind of just build up. And then when it opens for the next round, they're all going to come charging out at once. So, you might think, oh, this is a nice little safe zone. I'll kind of hide here while I'm fighting those mobs. And, all right, we're killing the mobs and killing mobs. Oh, no, behind us. Look out. So I think it's looking really cool. It's still work in progress, obviously, but most of the ComputerCraft stuff is done. I can control all the doors based on what round it is, what comes up and what goes down, what spawns and everything. So I'm not sure what Nemsun's doing with the ME access terminal. There's some beef and apples in there. Maybe each round you're allowed to go pick some out of there. I'm not sure. But let me go ahead and stop the rounds. And go ahead and reset it. There we go. So we've got all the games up here. Down below is the tech. So let's go check it out. We are using, with ComputerCraft, one of the awesomest things is RedNet cable. This replaced Red Power's bundled cable as far as integration with ComputerCraft. Project Red bundled cable does not integrate with ComputerCraft well. So you're really stuck with only RedNet, and I don't say stuck. I mean, it's awesome. So I'm not upset about being stuck with it per se. Anyway, so RedNet cable can transmit signals on all 16 colors in Minecraft. So you'll see it comes down here, and then like the entrance door is white. So I can just say turn on all the whites, and the drawbridges, which these are, you can see, our stone bricks there, are going to go up. And so all we have to do is replace the block here on the left, and then it will blend in with the floor, and you won't be able to see that these are walls, those are traps, that kind of thing. So it's a lot of cabling, but it's all color-coded, and that's kind of the purpose of why it's color-coded up top right now, just to make it easier with the MFR programming. And yeah, so we have all the doors, the red door, the green door, the blue door, kind of these little walls that are going to come up, and then there's some cyan and some other things that'll pop up, the light gray there, for traps. Okay, and in a little bit I'll get into the ComputerCraft code, so towards the end of the episode, so that anyone that doesn't want to watch coding can just go ahead and quit watching. Down here, this is going to be where the mobs spawn. This is a system I invented that I think is going to be really cool for this little arena. Basically, we've got MFR auto-spawners, and Akko's going to be in charge of all of these. He brought all the drum of mob essence, because he's got like 20 drums full of it. And we haven't powered any of this yet, because we don't want mobs to spawn until we're ready. But this MFR cable, right here, I've got a inverter on all 6 colors. So you can see orange, magenta, blue, yellow, green, and pink are all inverted. So that means by default they're all going to be on, which tells MFR auto-spawners not to spawn, I believe. I have to verify that with Akko, but I'm pretty sure a redstone signal tells MFR spawners to turn off. So all I have to do with my ComputerCraft code is say, okay, in round 1 I would like zombies, which is this one, and that's orange. So I would just send an orange signal, it would come through here, get inverted, and turn this one on, and zombies would start spawning. So with MFR auto-spawners, they can go anywhere within like 5 blocks of the auto-spawner in any direction, and I think 2 up and 2 down. So really, there's nothing below them that they can spawn on, but there's a chance that they might spawn like right here, and that's no good. So Akko's going to be in charge of putting some sort of system, either with fans or those little torches that he's been using recently, to knock them or blow them into this Mistcraft portal. And you can see, I didn't really want to go through that one yet. We've got 2 Mistcraft portals set up here. One of them is always on, and that portal always sends you to the middle of the floor, just like before. If I go through it, I end up in the middle of the floor. And that's kind of like a catch-all, and I'll show you why that's important. If we go outside and go down here, this is... Whoa! Don't die. Don't die. The fly gene sometimes decides not to work. Oh, this is so slow. Fly. Okay. So again, we 2 portals. The first one is, or the bottom one is always on, and that's just an interlinking book that teleports you to the middle of the floor. The top one is off, but this turtle is kind of the randomizer for the spawning location. He has 3 different books, and each of those books corresponds to one of those platforms up there, the red, blue, or the green platforms to spawn mobs on. And all he does is he has code in him where he selects a random book, and he puts it, does a drop into the book receptacle, leaves it there for a couple seconds, a random amount of time, and then he pulls it out. And then he'll select another random book and put it in. So basically that means as mobs spawn on from the MFR auto-spawners, and they are blown into the Mistcraft portal, they'll teleport to a random spawning platform, either the red, the green, or the blue. So we should get a pretty random distribution of the mobs for each round. And again, some of the rounds, the doors are closed, and so those mobs will just kind of build up and be waiting for the next round to have like an ambush. So that's the thing there. And again, the reason for the second portal is when the turtle pulls a book out, and then by the time before he puts another one in, there's a small period where there's no portal going. And so I have that other portal there to automatically catch that. It's a very small chance, but I don't want mobs dropping all the way through into the void. Those ones will go into the center, which could add an element of surprise if you're fighting and all of a sudden a zombie just appears in the middle of the arena. So that's the whole Mistcraft aspect of it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're planning to spawn This thing has, we have zombies here, skeletons, we have pigmen that are kind of like already aggroed on the player based on this fire net. I think that'll work. I hope it'll work. If not, then maybe they'll run around, and if you hit them with AoE, then you're in trouble. I don't know. And we got wither skeletons, and then we might put some of the Ars Magica bosses in. You can catch Ars Magica bosses in Safari nets, and then you can use, spawn them. So we might have like round 5 and round 10 be like mini bosses, where some of the Ars Magica bosses come out or something like that. So I put AM Boss 1 and Boss 2, but that's kind of Akko and Nemsun decide what they want to spawn here, and just tell me what rounds to put them in, and then all I have to do is turn on green or pink. It's pretty easy. So I think I got a good system where I can control it, however they want it designed, and it'll work that way. So let's move on. We're almost up into the episodes. I'm going to move into some ComputerCraft code. If you don't want to see that, then you can go ahead and go watch the next video in the Utopia series. If not, stick around. Okay, here, let's go down. First, I want to show the random turtle program, because it's the easiest. And we can go see how that works. So, here he is. It's called, what did I call it? Book test. Obviously I call it book test. I don't know why I call it book test. Maybe I'll rename it. But anyway, so I set the initial book index to 1, which I don't need to do. I think that was part of some testing. But anyway, in an infinite loop, which is always true, I get a new random number between 1 and 3. I set that to book index. If for some reason the book index is greater than 3, I think that's left over as well from I was just incrementing. Anyway, it'll make it 1, so we'll never get the 4th slot. It'll always be 1 to 3. And we'll do turtle.select, so we'll select one of these random slots. Turtle.drop, which pushes the book in front of him into the inventory in front of him, which is the book receptacle. Sleep for 2 seconds. I think I'm going to change this right now, so you guys are seeing live editing of the program. I'll do math.random, and we'll go from between 1 and 4 seconds. Pretty easy. And we'll need an extra paren there. There we go. Then, after that time has passed, he'll do a turtle.suck, which sucks the book back out, and because the selected index is still set, it'll just put it right back in the same slot. And then he'll go back and do the loop again. So that's all there is to it. We can go ahead and save this, exit. I do need some way to start this program automatically or from up there, because right now as soon as the chunk unloads, he stops running. So we can go ahead and see this in action. So he did book 3 there. He's going to leave it there. He book 3 again, book 2. Longer period, book 2 again. Book 2 again. That's the randomness you get with one thing when he's back up to book 3. So each time you play the map, it'll be completely different as far as where the mobs spawn. You'll never be able to know which door they will be coming from. Am I flying? I don't want to fall again. Okay. So that's random book guy turtle. I've got this monitor here. I didn't really show that, but this monitor is connected via a cable, networking cable. It just goes under there. So that's pretty easy. All I'm doing right now is just printing out what round it is on, and it appears it's not even functioning. Oh, I guess it's just stopped because I stopped the program. Yeah, when you hit stop, it stops it. Okay, so let's look at the code here. This is a little bit more involved, and it hasn't been cleaned up as much as I'd like, so if you go on my forums and you're a member, then you'll be able to see all the code. I'll post it there. I got case sensitive here. Nope, no capital H. Thunderdome. Here we go. Okay. At the top of every program, I like to define constants, things that are not going to change for the rest of the program, and also things, they're kind of like my configuration options. So I can come in here at the very beginning, and you can see right now I said, well, we're going to have 10 rounds, and then I've got an array, or a table, I guess you'd call it in Lua, and this is how long each round lasts. So if I wanted the third round to last 10 seconds, all I have to do, save the program, it's changed. Pretty cool. So if we find out, well, in the 5th round we're fighting an Ars Magica boss and it takes 30 seconds about to kill, then I'll just do that. And then we'll say, oh yeah, round 10 we're fighting like the ultimate Ars Magica boss, we'll do 60 seconds. Pretty easy. Awesome stuff. This next one is basically how many seconds it takes an MFR spawner to spawn. And I haven't really decided exactly how long I'm going to leave the spawner on for each round. I might just say, you know, if the zombies are spawning in round 1, then just turn the zombies on and it'll spawn them as fast as the MFR will allow. But we might have something where we say, well, in round 1 we might 5 zombies, round 2 we want 10 zombies or something, and so I have to time it. And so I would just take this number, MFR spawn time, and divide it by the round or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not sure if that's accurate either. I think it's 1.5 seconds if I remember right, how long you need to give a redstone, or turn off the redstone signal to the auto spawner for it to spawn a mob, and then you can turn it off again. But we'll see. That's all configuration, right? Then here is how I've mapped each of the colors of the wire to the actual corresponding thing in the world. So the orange cable is going to spawn zombies, magenta skeletons, light blue pigmen, yellow is withers, lime is whatever we decide, and pink is the other one. White is the back wall, blue is the left wall, red is the right wall, and green is the front wall. And then I have the 2 obstacles, or whatever, the cyan and the light gray. We might do something like, you know, in certain rounds, cyan is up, certain rounds cyan is down, and then light gray just randomly goes up and down. You know, every like 10 seconds or something, or 5 to 12 seconds maybe, randomly. That'll go up and down, so you never know when it's going up. And then once I have all that defined, I can go ahead and define these rounds. So I can say, okay, we have 10 rounds, and colors.combine just adds colors together, and each of these corresponds to color. So it's pretty easy to say, in the first round I want zombies, the back wall, and the left wall up. And in the second round I want zombies, back wall, right wall, and some obstacles. Can't really see, but there we go. First set of obstacles. And this is all just, I'm just using it to test, obviously. But cool. That's all I have to do. So anytime Nemsun or Akko says, hey, we want to spawn this in this round, I can say, here you go. We'll just edit it, and it's done. Never have to change the rest of the code. So what is the rest of the code? First, set up the peripherals. I've got that monitor on the back wall, which has an ID of monitor _0. Set it up to have a larger text scale. Set the background color to gray. Override is this monitor here on the left. That's how you stop the map. So I just go ahead and wrap that one and call it override. Then I've got some display functions. This is one I like to have in every single ComputerCraft code I write that has an output, is just how you center text on the screen. So I'm going to provide the peripheral and the text I want to center, and it's going to go and get the size of the peripheral screen. It's going to get the current cursor position, find out the middle of it, and then print out the text. Pretty easy. This one, all it does right now is clear the monitor, sets a cursor position to a certain location, and writes out some centered text of what round you're in. I might change that later just to say, you know, what's spawning or that kind of thing, or their score, or I don't know. We'll see what we want to do there. This I'm not using anymore because before I was wrapping the auto spawners as peripherals, but we're not doing that anymore. So I can get rid of it. And I'll get rid of this whole comment because this is actually a thing. To draw the override, which is this button here, I go ahead and say if the game is in progress, then I want to draw it as red, so it's stop. If it's not in progress, I'll draw it green. I'll clear the screen, so that'll actually paint the background, and then I'll either print out stop or enter based on if the game is in progress or not. The last thing, so these to open the door, pretty easy. I just set the bundled output to white or 0. Opens and closes the door. Tick, if you've seen my coding before, I like to have a tick function that just fires every second or every interval. Right now I'm doing every 2 seconds. Increments the length of time that the current round has been going, and then starts the timer again. If the current time of the round is greater than how long we wanted the round to last, which is this right here, then I'll increment the round number and set the current round time back to 0. If the current round is greater than the number of rounds, so if we're on this equals 11, then that's greater than 10, reset to round 1. I might change it to display game over or finish or whatever. Congratulations. Print out what round we're in just so I can tell from the monitor or from the computer screen. Draw the override method or override computer monitor display on the main monitor, and then we're going to go ahead and set the bundled output. This is like the main function of this whole program. Set the bundled output on the bottom, which is that RedNet cable, based on the round config. So if we're in round 3, it'll go to the round config and say we want skeletons, the blue wall, the yellow wall, and the white wall, and that sets the bundled output, and everything. That's how the magic happens, basically. Cool. In the main program, this is what runs at the very beginning. I initialize all the stuff. Set the round to 0. I draw the override, meaning it's green. Open the door, sleep for 5 seconds so the players can get in. Set the round to 1, round time to 0, start the timer, set the game to be running, close the door, and then go through an infinite loop. Well, not an infinite loop, but I'll loop forever while running is true. I pull the event from the OS just to see what event happened. If it's a monitor touch, that means someone clicked on this monitor there. So if the side is left and the game is going, then I will open the door and set running defaults so that the program exits. If it's coming from the timer, then I run the tick function. So every 2 seconds, this tick function will run. And then I have this left in if I want to do something with the keyboard, but I don't know if I'll do that or not. And then I run main. So that's all the code again. If you want to have a copy of this code, or the one that does the Mishcraft stuff, you'll need to be a member on my forums, which requires a donation. You can get all the information at FunshineX.net, or you can just watch this video closely and copy it as I explained it. No problems there. More power to you. So this has been it for the Thunderdome on Utopia³. Watch closely to our next few episodes on my channel, as well as Nemsun's and Akko's, and we'll be actually playing the game with other members of Utopia as a grand finale and send-off to the Nemsun's Genetics Bundle, which included Advanced Genetics and Mutant X, or Mutant Creatures, something like that. This has been FunshineX for Utopia³. See you guys next time. Bye.